To start with, I think I'm the last talk. Afterwards, everyone is ready to pack up. So start with, I am going to talk about a monitoring stack or a tool. Basically, everyone must have heard about Prometheus. Like anyone familiar? Prometheus using? Fine. So it is nothing but just a replacement, you can say. So myself, Raghu Reddy. I'm currently working with Zscaler as a senior DevOps engineer, and you can find me as Raghu Reddy Cloud everywhere, like LinkedIn, GitHub, anywhere you can search me with the same image. And agenda. The main thing is about Victoria, right? What I'm trying to present is it's an open source tool. We will try to cover this particular agenda. And about this, yeah. So this is a founded in 2018, and the reason behind this foundation was, so they were also using Prometheus, and they faced some issues, so they went with some other open source tools, and they introduced or they got an idea of because of which this particular tool, or I can say an open source application got started, which is Victoria. Open source, community driven, anyone can contribute, written in Go, and it's an open source TSDB. So even like TSDB is nothing but even the Prometheus also uses is a time series database, like familiar, most of the monitoring stack or tools needed that. And the major interesting, like if you are using Prometheus and you want to switch to Victoria, no worries, because Victoria supports or it is implemented based on PromQL, that is nothing but a Prometheus query language. Fine. What is the main cluster or what are the main components? So if I look into this particular, this is the basic very like diagram given by their official website. So it has lot of components. The major three which everyone should be interested is insert, storage, and select. Now they have divided everything as a like a stateful. What I can say is microservices. Like insert is a different, storage is a different. What are those? So if you want to send data, you send it to VM insert. That's the component number one, which is very important. It will try to get your data. What it will do? It will store it in VM storage. It's one more component. So it will just VM insert is just to take the data and it will store to VM storage. Just remember VM insert read and write access. And one more component is VM select. VM select will have a read permission and it will try to fetch data from VM storage. So VM storage comes in the middle. VM insert will send the data to VM storage, and from VM storage you can just fetch the VM select. Now, okay, who will send the data? Like that's the main question or the main component within this particular cluster. So you can see the writers. So it's not just like even if you have Prometheus, Influence, Graphite, Open TSDB, anything, you can simply use Victoria. So that's the beauty of that. And the main component is VM agent. So if you have a cluster of like you have different clusters, you can simply install this VM agent and it will send your data to the VM Victoria matrix. And these are the benefits, like you can simply add or modify your labels. So Prometheus, the main problem which everyone was facing or they might be facing is this one, the disk space usage. So I'm just cutting. So last, what very important is if you use Victoria or the statistics as per, like if you even do a Google and everywhere, you will see that Victoria matrix need like 5 times less RAM and 7 times less disk space compared to Prometheus, like a huge one. So if you are having a disk space usage, consider like 7 times. So like if you want to retain a data for 1 year on Prometheus, so just imagine how much it can be retained using the Victoria matrix, like 7 times you can retain it to a 7 years. Same goes with your disk operations. So 95 MB, that's for the disk IO. The same when it comes to Victoria, it will have only 15 Mbps, like a huge difference that really will help you in a production infrastructure, having a huge set of data points coming continuously from a different endpoints. Considering the same benchmark, so if you see a write operation, how much write you can do using Victoria is the blue one, like the highest compared to these three. This is just taken like from a Google, but if you compare, this is the highest one that goes to Victoria matrix for considering all the instances that you have. Same goes with your write operation. Like if you want to write a huge amount of data, so disk IO, even Zerodha officially has mentioned, Zerodha, the one of the biggest, I can say, product-based industry, product-based company. Like they say, if you have a single node of VM cluster running, that will collect a huge amount of data without giving a spike or without the OS going down. So that's the beauty of the Victoria matrix. Features very easy and simple to use. You can start if you just go on to the document and see, it is very simple. Supported data injection. Okay, you have a Datadog, you have a different set of protocols that you are currently using, so no need to worry. That particular existing environment will be there. You just need to use, or you can just simply say long-term metric storage. Definitely the retention or the compression is very low. The great compression available, everything. And the very important, so whoever want to explore Prometheus or explore Victoria, this is very important. So that you can even start using Victoria and you can also use your Prometheus. So in your Prometheus, there's just a configuration file. You just mention where to send the data, rewrite URL, and it will send the data to your Victoria. So you can have your Prometheus stack as it is. The underlying database TSDM that can be changed, and you can start using your Victoria. And that's it from my side. And just a last, if anyone want to, like, basically for Prometheus, if you want to start exploring, then a simple line which you can have in your Prometheus configuration file, you just mention your Victoria matrix endpoints, and you can start exploring and you can start migrating eventually. Thank you.